we got a new big bad revealed. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with Season 4, Episode 8 of Wakfu. And yeah, last time we learned about Taros Mordell, the leader of the Necrome, who is, the big bad, this champion of his people. And we learned a lot about the Necroworld that they come from as well. It's sort of this alternate world, this primordial world that existed long before the world of 12 and whatnot. And it's like this, almost like a proto world of 12. It has a lot of similarities and everything, and kind of like set the stage. But everything went wrong, everything got fucked up, and their resources and whatnot got screwed over. Didn't end well. So now they are, starved for Wakfu and have somehow made their way to the world of 12. This was also the world that the Heliotrope goddess was imprisoned in by the other gods. We knew that. And so now we have found out that the portal is indeed an Heliotrope portal. They think it's Kilby. That's way too obvious. I think it's Nora. I think it makes the most sense to me. One, she's like one of the few who knows about this world and knows where it is in the first place. And two, like, she seemed like almost too nice, I guess is the way to put it. Like, since we've met her and everything. And that's not saying like that people who are nice are like automatically suspicious, but I don't know, it's like she came across as almost like not fake, but like she was hiding something, and I don't know what her reason for doing this might be. I have no clue, and it could even be like she might even have a genuine reason. It might have to do with her dragon brother and everything, which, by the way, I've been told is not the great lizard or whatever its name is. I don't remember the name right now. It did mention the name, but I've been told they are not the same person. So apparently that's not a spoiler to find out. I guess that's just a being from the Necroworld. But yeah. We see that it's gotta be her. It's just there's really no one else it could be at this point too. I think I mentioned that last time. Like, there's just no one else. It has to be someone we know, and Kilby's too obvious, and there's not really anyone else besides Nora at that point. So it's gotta be. But anyway, we also had I had his name in my head before and I can't think of it now. Floppin. We had Floppin leave his family behind to go and travel with and train under Madagascan, his grandfather, and everything. Because he feels like he's not given as much attention and everything as his sister and newborn brother. And mind you, newborn brother, yeah, gonna get a lot of attention. I mean, that's just normal. But he's like, it confused me because he was always his mother's favorite, and he was like very much beloved by his family. And yes, there was also the aspect brought up of the fact that, his siblings have like more of that god blood and everything in them. And I get that. They have like the blood of the Eop god and everything. But at the same time, it's like, and It's I don't understand why that's an issue. It's like, yeah, they have more of that, but it's like I guess he feels inadequate comparatively. But his family has never done anything to make him feel like that. So that's where it's confusing me. His mother adores the shit out of him, and it's very clear that his father and sister and everyone does as well. It's like there's no reason to believe that he's not loved or that he's treated any lesser. It's just it feels like a weird conflict. And mind you, the reason why it doesn't bother me too much is because he is a kid, and kids think this kind of shit. Like I very much thought shit like this when I was young. Um, I mean, kids will often think like, oh, my parents punishing me for something, that means they must not love me. I'm gonna run away from home now. It's like kids do that shit. So I get it, but at the same time, it's like he doesn't really have a reason to believe that. I just, I don't know. Maybe that's just me, and maybe it's also because I kind of hate Madagascar now. That it also adds to that. Um, I don't want Floppin to go with him because I just don't want him to be around because he's kind of a dick, kind of an asshole who spied on his daughters for their entire lives and is acting like that's um, him being there for them when it's very much not. So yeah, don't like him, but I don't know. We'll obviously get more, I'm sure. I'm just wondering how a lot of this is gonna go. I mean, my by preference, my hope would be that they track them down in time to get Floppin back. That he doesn't actually end up going off with Madagascar, but I'm kind of thinking that's going to end up happening. It's like I am admittedly a little irritated by that. And then we haven't even caught back up with Ruel yet. Ruel is chasing down his wife because he can't handle the fact that, she's right and that he's a selfish piece of shit sometimes. And it's like, dude, just realize you're the bad guy here. Uh, so yeah, a lot of setups, a lot of big things coming very clearly. Excited to see where this goes. So I say we should get on with it. But before we do, just as a reminder, there are a lot of other great series reactions on this channel. Every Monday through Friday, we have a plethora of them, a plethora of series reactions for you to get into that consistently change and rearrange so that there's always something for everyone. On Mondays, we also have YouTube reactions. These are mainly donation rewards sent in by viewers and subscribers like you, and they're really fun. You get to check out a lot of interesting stuff through that. Every Saturday and Sunday, we post movie reactions. They're recorded earlier in the week, but I upload them on the weekend so that every day has something going on for it. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we are doing a Let's Play of Spider-Man 2 for the PS5. Really enjoying it so far, having a lot of fun. Can't wait to get to more. So, all of that being said, thank you as always for tuning in. Let's get this going. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because that is correct, we do redirect all of our reactions on this channel. Just because of YouTube's copyright system, it's a lot. It's YouTube. So we have to be safe. We have to make sure everything goes according to plan so we don't get any strikes or even worse, get the channel terminated. Dealt with that before, don't want to deal with it again. So we're just being safe and redirecting everything. But on the upside, that does mean everyone, and I mean everyone, gets to see the full reaction for free. No paywalls, no Patreon, not even having to sync up your own copy. You just go to the link, watch the reaction completely free, and after you do so, you can come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after Fades to Black and then Fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode, as well as just my general thoughts on what happened within. So, that being said, thank you once again, as always, for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Like, at the end there, I was getting chills. The villains of this series have been pretty across the board great. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm not one of those people who thinks that Oripo was a bad villain. I actually think he was a good villain. It's just comparative to the likes of Nox and Kilby, wasn't really quite on their level of interesting and unique and fascinating. He was more of the personal connection and kind of a cautionary warning of Yugo in a way and where he could end up going. But the other villains were more external forces who had their own stories, their own, motivations and whatnot. I think that might be part of the reason why a lot of people didn't like Oripo as much, because he was more internal as a villain, and it was more centered around Yugo's struggles and connections to him. I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for other people, but that's my guess. Because that's really the only thing that, really makes him notably different, I guess you could say. In any, notable way that would make him seem... I guess you could see that as him being lesser in a way than the others. I don't know. But then we have Toros Mordal here. And just already he has a presence that the other villains just don't. Don't get me wrong, Nox definitely had a presence. He was really great from episode 1. Kilby definitely has a bit of a presence to him. He's really, really cool, really tricky, really manipulative. I like him. I've always liked Kilby. And I just talked about Oripo. But Toros Mordal is, special in regards to presence. Maybe it's just because and I've talked about this before, I really enjoy horror themes in shows that are not, horror themed normally. I've talked about, before, with Powerpuff Girls episode Abracadaver, or with Jack in the Haunted House from Samurai Jack. Stuff like that, where it's it's not a horror show, but there's an episode or so that has, distinct horror theming. I really like that. And this is definitely a case of that with this. The Necrome in general, but especially Toros Mordal. Look at the way he moves. Not, I wouldn't call it glitching, but the, almost phasing he's doing when he moves. Combined with the loud noises it causes and the just shocking imagery, the way he kind of twitches and everything while he does so, it's it is absolutely coded in horror. He is meant to be scary, while all the other villains are meant to be intimidating. He is meant to be straight up terrifying, and they succeeded. Again, it comes a lot of the time down to the animation, how that's worked, but also his voice, that whispery rasp that he's got going on, the confidence he speaks with as well. He has this tone that is intimidating. And it kind of makes it like he's referred to as a mummy in this episode, but he comes across more like a specter, a ghost, a demonic spirit. And I think that's really cool. Like, even outside of just the, horror aspect, it's just fucking cool. And seeing his powers with his own set of dofus and everything, seeing how no one can pretty much do anything to him is insane. Their literal only choice here is to escape, to run away. And the only way they can do so, because the portal was closed, was to give Kilby the dofus, the heliotrope dofus. And mind you, he did do it after, stupidly attacking Taros Mordell with Wakfu. I don't know why he did that. But he did get them out of there, except for Yugo, who's pulled back in, which is really bad for a number of reasons. I don't know where this is going to go at this point. I wasn't expecting we'd have a confrontation with him in this episode. I really wasn't. Like, even once they were talking about, like, having to go into the portal to get a scope of things, I would not have guessed that they were actually going to have a fight with him here. I thought they were going to, like, maybe see him, but then, like, leave. And that, mind you, that's what they tried to do, but it just shows, like, what kind of other level he's on, too. He's so much insanely stronger than any of them. And that really makes me really interested to see how this is going to all go down. And the goddess is not going to be happy when they return without Yugo. She's going to be freaked the fuck out. So that's going to be fun. And while all of this is going on, we also had a fight with Kilby earlier in the episode, but with Yugo and Kilby, hashing things out. And Kilby decimated, like, Yugo. Like, Jesus. I know Yugo was, like, not really thinking straight and kind of just acting on aggression. But by God, like, Kilby just destroyed him. And we finally got back to Rule here. He's tracking down his wife still, and we see that he just kind of is finding out that all of his commas are being, put to good causes, which he stupidly, for some reason, doesn't like, because he's a selfish, greedy bastard, let's be honest. It's like, dude, you need to get over this shit right quick. And on top of that, we also checked back in with the family, and Ava decided to trust in Floppin. The way they were saying it made it sound like Flopin. I've been pronouncing it like Floppin. I think it's Flopin or Flopin or whatever. But yeah, she decides to trust him, to let him follow his path, and as like Tristapin even said, they're really not, they weren't that much older. They were only like a couple years older than he was when they first went out on their journeys and all. It's kind of one of those situations where they're just choosing to put their faith in their son and let him do this. And mind you, in that note, like, he showed a lot of maturity. He showed that he was ready for this. And while I still don't like the fact that he's out there with Madagascan, I am happy. I am, like, pleased at the way that this was handled. The trust that they're putting in him is really nice to see. And it's just it's a great moment. And they're still sad. They're definitely still sad that he's gone. But they're happy that he's finding his way. So there is that. um so there's a lot of questions like how this is going to go now. I assumed the entire group was the Brotherhood of the Tofu was going to get back together. And that's still possible. I guess just, Flippin won't be there. Mind you, I mean, he wasn't part of the Brotherhood, but the kids would probably have gone with them anyway. So, are we going to have, like, any resolution to that? Probably not. There's probably going to be no resolution to that this season. I don't know if they're planning another season or not. If they are, I hope it takes or it comes a bit quicker than 6.5 years. But yeah, I don't know if they're gonna plan to do another. If they do, they could probably resolve things there, but I don't know. Either way, shit is really going down. And like this season in general has been like amazing anyways, but with this kind of development with Yugo being trapped currently in the Necroworld, that's kind of a big fucking deal for a lot of reasons. Shit's really about to start going down. We have like what, 5 episodes left? Let's see. We have, yeah, 5 episodes. I was right. Wow. I actually got that on my first try. We have 5 episodes left. And that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time to do quite a lot. So I really have no idea. Now, I was also going on about how I was thinking it was Nora who's creating the portals, but I'm not as confident now after this episode, because she seemed more freaked out than anyone about even being in the Necro world. She was like even having visions of her brother and everything. And on top of that, like if she was the one who opened the portal, then something is up with her, because she either is an amazing actress or there's something else going on, because she was definitely not acting like someone who was in on it. She was way too fucking freaked out. Like there's a difference between, pretending and being just overall, faking being scared and stuff. There's a difference between that and, just being completely out of your element and terrified. And again, it's like it's not like she could fake the entire illusion thing. Like, seeing the visage of her brother. It's like that's an entirely different thing. That's like, I don't think she could fake that. So it's my thought had been like that she could have maybe opened the portal and done all of this to try and like somehow rescue her brother, which I guess might still be the case, but it's like it just doesn't seem like it is at this point. I don't know. At this point, I just don't know. This is wild to me. But again, I don't think it's Kill, because I think that's just way too fucking obvious. Plus, he presumably didn't even have the ability to. And mind you, I don't know how Nora would have the ability to without Dofus or whatnot, but I don't know. I don't know at this point. So, I guess maybe we'll end up finding out, but, well, we more than likely will, but I don't know where this is going. This is some intense shit. But all of that being said, there's a lot of other great shit on our channel to check out. Every Monday through Friday, we have a plethora of great series reactions that you can check out. And on Mondays, we even do YouTube video reactions because those are sent in usually as donation rewards. And so I enjoy getting to them through that. Um, that being said, we also have movie reactions every Saturday and Sunday. They're recorded during the course of the week, uploaded during the weekend. Just makes it easier and everything. We can work with that. And every Tuesday and Thursday, we have a Spider-Man 2 Let's Play on the PS5. Really enjoying that so far. Really excited to see more of what that game has in store for us. Really good. Really enjoying it. But all of that being said, thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. And yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. If there's anything I missed, anything I didn't quite understand, as always, leave that down below. But for the time being, yeah, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.